Looks like we got a new friend!
Oh, hi you guys, and welcome to the stream. Today, we return with Wizards and Wardrobes with fresh meat. I mean, new people in the roster. So, with very little further ado... Oh, no, wait, hang on. I should do my usual things. I should do here are my social links. You can find us on Discord, where we're very inclusive, family-friendly, and we'll talk to you about D&D or anything else you want to talk to you about. Including cats getting stuck behind my monitor. I wonder how long I can leave her there. She's walked all the way behind, and now she's sort of like looking like, am I stuck? Am I stuck? I also have Twitter. If you guys would like to get involved in one of our viewer games, send me a DM. We have 3 viewer games a week now, with up to 12 spots for new players. Up to. So send me a DM, I'll get you a game. Simples. Also, we have a Patreon. We are now full-time, so supporting us on our Patreon is very much appreciated, as is supporting us through our merch, and we have a competition running currently, which I think there's less than 24 hours left, so go! Yeah, that's all the things. We also today have a tweet, and I need to change my tweet because the last thing that I was on was Mouse Guard, and Mouse Guard has slightly different notifications than all the other games, so I need to turn on that one instead of that one. But yes, if every 10 retweets, we will get a Wild Magic Surge, and despite that saying 20, I think you'll find if you check again, it actually says 10. So, now, going around the screen, I will start, I think, in the center with our new blood, Stuart. Oh, hi, Stuart.
Hi.
Why don't you introduce yourself and the character you'll be playing for us today? Or would you rather introduce your character narratively?
I mean, column A, column B.
Up to you.
Do a bit of both. But everyone else can understand. These guys know not the meta game. So I'm Stuart. You can find me online currently at I am Hadama. Everywhere else, I will be playing Rapture, the Tiefling illusionist wizard. I'm one of the two proprietors of a certain tavern that we're going to be going to, which I run alongside my sister, who will probably be introduced soon. And that's about all we're going to go for right now.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Well, I think it's only right that we go across to the second of the new blood today, your sister, Talenia, Rachel. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I am Rachel. I will be playing Taziel, one of the other proprietor of a certain inn and sister to Rapture. I will be playing a Pact of the Chain warlock.
Just to note, Rachel and I are not siblings in real life.
No. I mean, glasses, brunette, but other than that.
Yeah.
That's how the rumor begins.
I'm also not related to either of them, just while we're here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think technically I'm related to everyone, because if we trace our bloodlines back far and... Anyway. So we'll spiral out around the screen and we'll go to Chorus next. Oh, hi, Chorus. How's your fresh new character doing? Their world's not been destroyed.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm be playing Redleaf, which is an Eladrin arcane trickster. Just met Dave and Fausha and gave up about 50 gold to get them out of trouble, and in return had her home of 20 years blown up, so it's interesting.
They'll buff out.
Well, on that bombshell, why don't we go to the upset victim, I feel, of this scenario? Charlie, Dave. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, so this was a really great introduction for Dave to new party members. She had just been spending the morning with Fausha. We'd bonded with the flock that Dave's a part of. We'd been up on the roof. We were having a moment. It was beautiful. And then suddenly there are bodies falling from the sky. And, wizards are in town. This is a sign. And so, of course, we hightailed it over there because we've had enough of wizards in our time. We've had nothing but trouble from these magic users. And we get there and the bodies are hitting the floor. They're flying through the roof along with Dave and Fausha. And that's where we met Redleaf. And Redleaf tried to explain that in Waterdeep, you're not really meant to openly use magic. It's a regulated kind of thing. Unless you've got the right paperwork, it's a no-no. And naturally, Dave, who is still on 4 exhaustion points, was being precocious and grumpy and not sticking to the rules. And we got in trouble with the guards. And then we went to Redleaf's house because there's some sort of event happening at a tavern. The Redleaf was kind of like, we should check this out. This is before the blowing up, because then we go to the house and we see the runes on the door, and Dave is the last one in, and Dave is the last person ever to walk into that apartment. It's a whole apartment, I think, because the entire thing blew up. And yeah, Dave was about to fly away, but then she realized Fausha was there and she was pinned, so Dave had to go and help Fausha. And Redleaf obviously collected their belongings, and started off towards this inn, which they'd expressed they had a deep connection with, or a previous connection. Sounded to Dave as if they were employed there, something along those lines, but it wasn't really clear. And I think that's where Dave is at. Dave is basically a walking disaster zone. Very tired. She can still fly. That's cool, and she's famous because she can fly. She's the only Kenku known in the city that can do that. But yeah, it's not her best day. She nearly misses the desert, I think.
Oh, and talking of missing the desert, last but most certainly not least, Tahina. Oh, hi.
Hey there! I'm Tahina. I play Fausha Flamemane, the former daughter of the desert, who was brought to the strange city and tried to bond with the ocean because she's totally convinced that there's another elemental somewhere lurking in there. And she tried to get to know her aunt or uncle or a cousin or whatever. Yeah, I don't think we made that good of an impression of Redleaf, to put it mildly. Even though famous Dave the Divine did summon the flock, and we did start on some mending spells and tried to put some order back into what's left of their house. Yeah. And I think while Redleaf was walking off with this smoking chest under her arm, we followed after a while because he thought, like, let's try to make it up to her in any way, shape, or form. Also, Forja is totally in agreement with Dave. Someone must be behind those weird magic occurrences. Shit. And we want to do something about it.
And do
The
you
great deity known as Chat.
do the three of you remember the interaction at the docks with the guardsmen?
Yep.
Care to give us a quick recap, Chorus?
Well, Fausha wanted to talk to the ocean because she thought it was alive, and so Redleaf took them to the docks, and while Dave and Fausha spent time trying to talk to the sea, Fausha dropped something shiny in the water, and the thing is, it's winter time in Waterdeep, and during the winter it is bitter cold, and the seas get frigid, like below zero sometimes. And Fausha threw a shiny glass coin into the ocean, and Dave jumped in after it and started to freeze/drown. And Redleaf, because she's an Eladrin, and one of her autumn aspects, which I rolled for, was that if someone is in need, you don't withhold aid. And so Relief stripped down, dove in, saved Dave from a cold death.
It was very Jack Sparrow. There was a flip involved.
There was. I remember the flip. Yeah.
And then the guard showed up once we were all safe. And
Well, because how did you get Dave out of the water? I think that is what caught the guard's attention.
I face stepped, which is an Eladrin thing that they can do. But the guards.
In your defense, I also did a bonfire in order to warm you because you were all suddenly like, and I told you.
And
Fire,
the
that's what needed.
guards' attention was got, and the guards wanted to throw Faja and Dave in jail or arrest them, and Redleaf had to expose herself as a harper to these guards in order to keep these two out of jail, and also had to pay the guards 50 gold, which is more than they would make in 5 months. So they completely ripped her off, and that was all of her spending. So she just has her savings, which is 350 gold pieces.
Yes, they were looking for the cause of the wild magic surges, specifically the guard. They wanted to lock up Dave and Fausha because they believed that they were causing the new wave of wild magic surges that had hit the city around the same time, by their description, as Dave and Fausha arrived. So, I believe we ended the episode with Redleaf walking into the Fey Patron, looking exasperated. So, Redleaf, why don't you play that out again?
Okay, so before I start, so what is going on at the Fey Patron, I think, would be most appropriate. What's going on right now? It's about evening at this point.
Owners, it's your pub, you tell me.
So is the party going right now, or are you guys just setting up?
I mean, as you walk in,
Mhm.
it's completely empty, save for just myself standing in the doorway.
Sounds good.
Just in sort of it's got a little foyer entranceway. I'm at the end of the entranceway.
Mhm.
I have a mask on.
As a recap for chat and for you guys that are just joining us today, Red Leaf has copper bronze skins, golden red hair, shoulder length, curly. Her left side of the hair is buzzed on one side, and you can see that there's this large starburst scar that's pale white around her left eye, which is leaves her eye kind of this milky white, and there are two star tendrils that go across the left side to where the hair was. Her one good eye is bright gold. She's about 5'1", so she's super small. She's very petite. She's wearing warm browns and subdued reds. She has a coat that has flourish coattails that comes up in a large collar that kind of bends at the tip to reveal this kind of diamond pattern padding inside. She's wearing long thigh-high boots with a heel, light red wine pants, and fingerless gloves that go up to here, which is open on one side, and she's got a warm-handled rapier on her left side, as well as a simple belt with sheaths for knives and what seem to be small compartments. Right now, she is all of her clothes and her hair is smoking. Some of it is burnt. She is carrying a rather small burned chest with what seem to be smoking bits of rags that she's kind of tried to put around it. She's still in her autumn court form, but as she steps inside and sees you, she says, "Hi, darling. How's everything?"
Welcome, new patrons, one and all. Now, I must express that you do not say your names tonight, for this is a party of fey proportions.
Rapture.
Shh. I do not know anyone by that name right now. For tonight is a night without names.
To stay.
We will find you a place in time, new friend. But for now, join your delights. Drink merrily, for tonight is the grand masquerade. And tonight, you shall find wonderment. And I step backwards onto the glyph of warding, dispelling my major image and revealing the tavern full of people, and the sound cascades into it. And I bow.
She comes up to you, smiling strained, then drops the chest on your foot. Like poof.
And it goes through the foot. But don't worry, there's a room in the back that you can have. Welcome once again, Redleaf. Are you planning on kissing anything this year?
No, I'm not. Not right now. And she grabs her chest and just heads straight to the room.
Okay. And then the other illusion, which is me, vanishes.
Okay.
Could Dave and Rachel, Dave and Tazeel, I will get the names right. Dave and Tazeel, please both roll me a Wild Magic Surge, which is a 1d 442.
Gotcha.
64.
442. $370.
A low one and a high one. Where's Gust right now?
Oh, Gus is wherever he wants to be right now.
Gust is with not Tigina, Falja, I think.
Last time he was playing with her hair because he was very fascinated that it does not burn to touch it.
I don't have a pencil. Give me 2 seconds.
And we had just left the Kenku who had come around to help rebuild the apartment.
Hi, Scrat. I can't believe Scrat's dead.
Should we rock, paper, scissors for who gets to be the new DM?
Yeah, alright.
Oh no, I'm out.
1, 2, 3.
I'll do it.
Sorry, I'm noting yours down, Dave, because this is brilliant.
I don't like when you say that.
Have,
Saying.
have I ever been untrustworthy in this?
Yes.
Yes. He's new here and he knows.
I
Promises downtime. 12 hours on a down.
T. T. Sorry. I will control myself. I'm getting giddy. Now this might be a little on the nose, Rachel. Tazeel believes that the Feywild is her home, and she will do anything to get there.
Sounds about right.
That's that one.
Sorry,
Has to get to the Feywild.
Dave still has to get to the Feywild. Ah, there you go. That's the second person who needs to get to the Feywild.
Ah, work together on this one.
You know who used to live in the Feywild?
Did they have a lot of the Feywild in their room? Was it a
Yes.
pretty room? Why don't you tell us about the room?
Like what you did. Shame. Shame. Shame.
He'll be back. He always comes back.
He'll be back with his papa to shame you.
I will chart a boat and I will come over that damn pond.
Can anyone else taste
I
like?
will show you what happened in 17.
Does it taste like the sea?
Like capers or the sea? Maybe the sea? Is that what? Can anyone else taste that? So, oh, Chorus. So, oh, Chorus. Guys, things. Falja, as you are walking, wherever you are walking, where are you currently? Are you heading to the pub as well?
Yes.
Yeah, we left the Kenku fixing the apartment and got out of the way.
I was promised a tree.
As
Already what it is.
Mango,
I was
in
promised
fact.
a tree. Yes, mango.
As you are walking, Falja, you see a small globe on the ground, made of glass. You recognize this, but it seems to contain the desert.
I grabbed that, and I found a glass ring, right?
Uh-huh,
last time.
yes, you
So I
did.
grabbed that globe, and I was like, Mother?
Inside, there is sand billowing around. A small, like, it looks like a cheap imitation of the Assassin's Hold. It's like plasticky in there. When you look at this is something that you could make quite easily with your glassblowing skills.
Mhm.
If you are inspecting it, as you turn over, you can see on the base it says the Glassblowers Guild 309 Industrial Lane.
Dave, I need to go there. Glassblowers Guild?
I like put my face really close and I'm like looking in. Does Dave recognize anything significant about this orb?
You would recognize this as Tat. This is the sort of thing that was,
Globe.
yeah, it's a snow globe. Yeah, it's generated all the time. The people who dream of the desert. There's also snow ones and glitter ones, and the latest kids theatre play ones.
There's one that have like you shake them and it does like little magic lights.
Yeah. They've got all of them. There was one recently called like Iced, I think, with a Let It Snow thing. It was
So Dave reaches out her little feathery finger and she kind of ding, ding, ding. There are assassins afoot.
Yes, look, it looks like the hold.
Hmm.
And there are people who do glass. I was the only one who did it in the desert. Maybe we could go there and I could show them the armor that I made and pull my scimitar out and show her the razor sharp edge of glass and then put it back. Do you think they would like it?
Yes.
Then we should go there. But first, we need to help that poor woman. I mean,
Daisy.
if she wants the help.
Justin, I will get to that. I'm going to hold on to it for just a little minute. I'm just going to let Rachel get her feet in the door first. So you guys are heading to the pub also. Let's get you all together nice and quick, because then I can start punishing. I mean, we can start moving the narrative on. I'm joking, of course. I love you all.
Sure.
So you guys enter the pub. Rapture, you are busy with Redleaf. So I guess you guys greet someone else.
Oh, I mean, I was never there. It was all illusions based upon sigils that you stand on the floor. So the same thing repeats itself when they walk in. Look, I took Glyph of Warding as a spell. This tavern is layered in them.
I would like to suggest that since Dave has a habit right now of setting off arcane runes in bad ways, that I do a wild magic surge test to see if these runes upset the wild magic in Dave. Because that is how I'm justifying the explosion that happened.
Are you saying that my magic is badly made?
No, I'm saying that Dave is badly made.
Oh, that's fair.
That's what I am suggesting. How do you feel about that? Like, as a Tides of Chaos type effect? I think that's what it's called on my sheet.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yes.
Because that is my logic. Is Dave is so exhausted and her magic is all churned up. Let's 1d20.
That is the thing, patrons of the pub as well. When Dave walks in, as people who make money off of the tired and hungry, Dave looks like the most exhausted Kenku you've ever seen.
She is just like tired, but her orange cloak does billow very pleasingly. It has defrosted from its dip in the icy waters of the Swords Coast, and it just billows in the wind that isn't existent.
Majestic. So, I will have been watching and waiting for almost this kind of pre-recorded message that my brother set up to play out upon you two.
Wow, all this gold is for me?
Assuming it takes off the same way.
When we get
Yep.
when we get there, it looks as if no one's in there. The exact same as what
Yep.
we're through.
Okay. I wrapped the glass globe in a scarf and put it in my backpack. Oh, is
And
this
this-
the wrong place? Maybe.
And the same illusion plays out as before, and Rapture goes on about, wonderment and excitement happening to you tonight, and then the illusion falls.
Yelling honey in Redleaf's voice, like at the top of her lungs, trying to figure out where the elf has gotten. Sorry, I just dropped my book.
Only tell them as much as you have to, but just as much, right? No names. And we need to hide our faces. And I start railing myself with my wails
I
and
see
scarves.
what Fauj has done, and I take the scarf that she'd given me, and that gets all like wrapped around.
On a 17 for your check as well, Dave, you can tell that this heavily warded pub gives you sanctuary from wild magic surges. So, chat, and I'm specifically addressing you as River because you have one queued. I will stack up those wild magic surges until they leave.
I don't want some.
You guys, we can never leave. Step out the door. We're in
the Hotel California.
No.
Just like
Well,
as soon
maybe.
as you step outside, boom.
It's like stepping on a landmine.
Story of my life.
Some of the glyphs are landmines. Don't step on those ones.
It's all for the fun.
Yes.
Landmines are fun.
So
Okay. So
Uh,
once
the curtain drops.
people everywhere, lights, silk velvet strewn over every surface, like dancing lights and ceiling, people everywhere. Everyone's got these beautiful masks and quite kind of illustrious costumes on. And in the center of this pub, which is now lit up with like hundreds of colors and bright lights and laughter and music, the most noticeable thing is the trunk and the base of what seems to be a very, very old tree that grows up through the center of the pub and disappears through the ceiling to the area above.
Come, let us go. We march. Rah! And Dave
And I
walks in
stare-
proudly.
I stare in wonder at the very first tree Forja has ever seen in her life.
So what's that, Tahina? You're really quiet.
Sorry, I did not change anything.
Maybe Zoom is capping you.
Yeah.
I might need to check your settings.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Now, for everyone watching, we can go through this. It's a confusing thing with Zoom, so if any of you use Zoom, this might come in handy. Zoom audio options are not next to the audio button where one may expect. No. Zoom audio options are in the video options. So, what you need to do is you need to go to Zoom, and where it says stop video when you are live, there's a little arrow. You click on the arrow, and you click on video settings. When video settings comes up, you'll see all sorts of settings, including just above it, audio. And in there is where you can set your microphone level to automatically adjust. But it is only accessible by this route. You cannot access it from regular audio options because that would be silly.
Or you can go into
Um,
settings in the application itself rather than via the call.
You could, yes.
Or you can click the arrow next to mute, and audio settings is the bottom option.
Exactly.
Try it.
Can you hear me now?
I did, and it comes up for me.
No, it just comes up. If you go to audio settings. Oh, okay. They must have updated it like literally yesterday.
Can you hear me now?
God damn it. Okay. I
You're so quiet, Tahina. I don't know why.
I put the volume as high as it
You
as
sound
it
good
can
now.
Go.
You sound great. Good.
Okay then. In that case, never mind.
I've completely lost where we were.
I looked
First tree.
in wonder at the first tree Forja ever saw. So her eyes are like really big. And hey, now that we have new players, should we all reintroduce our characters, what we look like with our new players?
Yes. Yes. How do you look in the city?
So Forja has this ash soot-colored skin. Her eyes look like molten glass or metal in this golden reddish color, and her hair is like literal living flame. She is really tall and very slender. She's 5'10" and wears something that looks like Bedouin clothing. And after the last connection with her mother, her clothing slightly changes. In the past, it was black with red, and now it's this golden sand beige colors with oranges and reds. And underneath it, she wears a breastplate made out of bone and hide and glass, and there is a phoenix as a pattern in the middle of it. And she has a shield of similar making and a mineralic stuff and a lot of weapons. And basically everything she owns with her. And she smells faintly of burning juniper and herbs. And she never sweats. And now she looks slightly miserable because she's cold. And in her wake, where her foot tread, there is sand. Light traces of sand.
And Dave for her part appears like a blackbird kenku. In the city, kenku can be of different bird natures because wizards are very creative and not limited to crows. In my canon, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise. But the intriguing thing about Dave as a blackbird kenku is between the feathers on her wings, there are more brightly colored metallic-looking ones. And these actually gift her the ability to fly. Dave herself has an orange billowing cloak that is forever billowing, wind or no wind. She has I guess it's more like a vest tunic that's probably belted that has quite a few pockets on it. And random buttons just sewn on, as is a kenku's wont. And in addition to that, she has a scarf that matches in style probably the ornamental fabric of Falja's outfits that was gifted to her. And she also has a glass phoenix that was made by Falja that she wears around her neck. Although that probably only becomes more visible when she removes the scarf, which I imagine is a slightly bulkier fabric. And currently she has a saucepan that is now back on her head.
And we've had all sorts of donations as well. We have had... Hang on. Let me scroll down. I need to scroll down. That's how many we've had. So, we've got some more Magic Surges queued, but obviously, Tavern, you guys are safe.
Safe.
Dark Aardvark, or Natalie, gives a nat 20 to Rapture, a nat 20 to Taziel. Deirdre gives an advantage to the two new folks. There's also Deirdre giving a nat 20 to Redleaf to help him survive the day. The Wild Magic Surges we've already done. That I'm holding on to. Falja gets a nat 20 and I get a nat 1, so you guys have a nat 1 to call on me at some point. And also there is another Wild Magic Surge queued up. So there's 4 Wild Magic Surges queued up for when you leave the tavern.
Oh my god.
We did promise you that chat would look after you guys when you joined us.
Oh no, I signed up for this.
I didn't want out. I want to leave.
You can't leave now, brother.
God, you sound like from a horror movie.
So, let's get more description of this festival. Why is everyone here?
So, it is a very special day. It is an annual, well, not so much ceremony, but an annual party that, well, we've been hosting for the last few years. Redleaf will no doubt be fully aware of it. It is the Grand Masquerade, due to, in kind of honor of the Fey Patron himself. Because not so many people know now, but of course, the aptly named Fey Patron pub is named that way because originally it was built around a shrine dedicated to a powerful archfey far, far, far back in the chronology of Waterdeep. And every year we put on this very lavish event to celebrate that and just have an evening of colour and revelry and probably a lot of drinking. And it's also to try and earn a bit of money for the pub as well.
And Falja, how do you react to seeing a tree for the first time?
I pull on Dave's cloak of billowing with this excited, childlike look on my face that you can see over the scarf. And look, we found it, the elemental! And I start running over.
No!
And then I bow deeply before the tree and I say, I am Forja Flamemane. And I say it in primordial to the tree.
Now, as you do this and your hair gets near the tree, the warmth seems to make the tree grow. And it sprouts a bud that extends towards Taziel.
and I assume I am standing beside the tree watching this unfold.
Wherever you are in the pub, this tendril is heading towards you. This is not a normal growth. This is almost certainly magical.
Interesting.
Rapture,
interesting.
I'm not sure if this would vex you or not, having warded the place heavily.
When it comes to my sister, I expect nothing, and I'm still surprised.
I will put a hand out towards this bud. I am currently. I have actually been listening, being kind of amused by Fauja's reception of the tree. I had been about to step out and say something grandiose, but I'd been caught off guard a little by this interesting development. But now I'm kind of interested in this bud, and I've put a hand out towards it and just take it in.
The bud blooms in front of you. It is not a flower of this world. It strongly reminds you of home. It sort of vaguely resembles maybe a lily or an orchid or something like that. But across all the petals, is an intricate drawing. Is that a roadway system? Is that Sylvan written on the petals?
Rapture! Where's he gone? No, not again.
What is it you want, my sister? I'm right here.
You always
And
do
I
that.
appear out of invisibility right next to her.
I mean, bad enough you do it on a normal day, but today there's people everywhere. I don't know. Anyway, look at this.
Oh, that is very strange. Did you make
And
that?
No, I didn't make that. It's when that young lady with the flaming hair stepped pretty close.
Oh,
I
yes,
was about
the-
to go and greet them. I assume they're
The one that gave her name and appears to be wearing is that a scarf on her head?
No, you fool! Can't you see? It's basically a flame. It's fairly obvious.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. This whole thing is just this. I've never seen anything like. Well, I see a lot of things, but this is a new one.
Everything is a new thing, a new day, a new dawn, a new adventure.
I've heard this speech before.
monologuing
You don't
again.
need to do it again.
I mean, break it off. I guess it's a map by the looks of it.
I mean, I could. I don't like pruning the tree. It doesn't feel right.
No, pruning is a natural part of nature. It helps plants grow. You've given me this talk yourself before.
I know. All right. You've convinced me, as always.
It
And
is my modus operandi, as they say.
well, next time I'll get you. And
I-
I will very gently twist the bloom off of the bud and kind of cup it very gently.
You now have an unidentified map. As
It's a
you
map.
twist the bloom off, the rest of the vine that extended itself towards you erupts into flame. The flames shoot back towards the tree where they stop, but Fauja, around you, soot lines the floor. What symbol does it draw?
Ooh, that is a good question. A
Something
sun
that-
with a spiral.
Excuse me, miss. Miss with the flaming hair.
By the way, you did not, unless you speak primordial, you did not hear me give my name because I was talking in
No,
Ignal.
no, I don't know your name. Could you mind not setting our tavern on fire? Please
Excuse
don't.
me?
Please don't set our tavern on fire. It's quite flammable, and you're making soot everywhere.
Are you the roof master?
I don't know what
No,
that
he's
is.
not. He's not. We
Are
are.
you the
And I
roof
will also
mistress?
step around.
No, we own. We own. Are you okay?
So this is your roof, and this is your house. You hold?
Taziel, you take this one. I'm a bit perplexed.
That's all right. I've got this, brother. It's okay. Yes, this is our tavern. We run the place. We are hosting this soiree, and I notice you seem rather interested in the oak here.
I am so sorry. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Roof Mistress. Let me offer you this for lodging and for supplies. I say, and hold out a dagger made out of bone and glass that looks wickedly sharp.
And I will take this.
You offer guest right?
Rapture, how much do you reckon this is worth? Is it more or less than a normal night's fee?
Would I know how much it's worth? Such Chinese whispers. Scrap, would I know how much it's worth?
Possibly. Give me a relevant skill check. Something for appraising an item, or maybe...
It might just...
Thank God you're doing this.
Intelligence.
I'm going to say just...
straight intelligence.
Intelligence, yeah. That's a 12.
On a 12, Falja, can you please roll me your glass making?
Of course I can.
Dave, just in the background of the scene, is just slowly
22.
crossing her arms and waiting to see if these people are about to rip off Falja.
Rapture, in earnest, you're not sure. It looks fancy, but you've seen fancy trinkets before. It's either good or a good replica.
I'm not entirely sure, sister. Miss, I don't suppose you have any gold. It's just we're sort of in a sticky situation right now. This dagger is...
close my hand around the dagger and pull it back, and I say, "You don't like my offer.
Oh,
and
no.
You are not affording me guest right? In that case...
Miss...
I am so sorry," I say to the tree.
Miss...
I
no,
would have
that's-
loved to stay under your roof,
Miss,
but your roof
excuse-
mistress is
miss,
very impolite.
excuse me.
That is
Sorry.
not nice. No.
A shame there is no butter.
Excuse me?
No, I am not. I'm not burning down this roof because I really like your elemental here.
No, I'm look,
And then I start walking off in the
No, no.
sweat.
Please, miss, I did not mean to offend you. Please come. She's growing, isn't she? I did it
Dave,
again.
Hold on. How about... No, we can win this back. It's not over yet.
I'm just going to talk to the Kenku over there. She seems quite perturbed by things.
Yes, you work on the Kenku. I'll work on the Fire Lady.
Oh, by the way, Redleaf is here and they are a little bit singed, so you might want to find out exactly what's going on there later. Yes, singed.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll see if I can use that. I will, yes. Tonight of all nights, eh? All right.
It's never a dull night this time of year.
Indeed not. And I will stride off to try and catch up to Falsha.
Who's walking in a huff over to Dave and says, "We are not welcome here. We don't be offered guest right, so let's go."
Excuse me. No, we would love to have you as guests. So would the patron himself. He would be honoured were you to spend a night under our roof. I can tell you a little more about the tree if you would like me to.
Tell them as much as you have to, but just as much as you have to.
What she said. Are we offered guest right now or no?
Of course you will. Of course. I'm sorry. My brother sometimes grates a little with our guests. He is very theatrical. He loves to play the flamboyant one, but we all make mistakes. Of course, your offering is more than welcome. It's incredibly kind of you, and we will of course offer you guest right, food, lodging, whatever you need.
Your place, your tent, is given by me?
No, it's given by me.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to accept this?
Yes,
No?
I'm sorry for my brother's hastiness.
Very well then. And I hold out the dagger. I made it myself, you know. It is made
did?
out of sand and bone and magic. And I let
What
it
incredible
fall.
craftwork!
I let it drop into your hand, and as I let go, my hand erupts into flame, and they dance over the fingers and then disappear. Yes.
And Dave will go into her pocket and pull out a little shiny button, and that is all she has to offer.
Thank you so much.
And it's one of those like little. It's not that little. It's probably like a 10p piece kind of size, like a quarter for Americans. And it's like engraved, all fancy. And you know, like if it was polished, it would be real shiny. But right now, it's got that little bit of green crud just building in the engraving.
Thank you so much. Now, come back in. We'll find you a table. Oh, I see. Of course, as you can see, we're having somewhat of a masquerade tonight. You haven't got costumes, you haven't got masks. I might have some spare if you would each like one. I'm not sure if I'd have anything that would fit a kinku though.
Dave pulls up her scarf to kind of cover her face, and her saucepan is adjusted to a jaunty angle.
Fantastic, you're all set. How about you, my friend?
I have a veil in front of my face. This is not enough?
Of course, it's up to you totally. This is an event of extravagance. People like to dress up for the fun of it. So if you wanted to join in, I could lend you a mask. I'm not sure how flame retardant they are. Anyway, do
Get in for the fun of it.
Yes.
Anyway, do come in. Here, I'll find you a seat. There's if you're quick, there might be one over by the tree. You can sit nearby it and I can tell you more about it.
Yes, I was not finished talking to it, so I would very much appreciate that. Do you have a mango?
A mango?
Yes.
Oh,
Mango cocktail?
I can see what I can get from the kitchens.
I would love to.
Of course, make yourself comfortable. I'll be right back.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Not at all. And I will.
Thank you very much.
I will hustle off to the kitchens.
I like her.
I will get some kind of very sweet cocktail that might not necessarily have any form of mango in it at all. But as I bring it out, I would like to use prestidigitation to give it a distinctive mango flavor.
Ooh.
And I bring it back to your table.
Mhm.
Yeah. For my esteemed guest.
Thank you.
Food and ale, please.
I like a mango.
Don't we all?
I guess so, because it's very tasty.
Tasty.
So, is this the elemental who holds this plane?
No, not as such. In fact, there's a little. You're almost on the money there. It's not so much an elemental, but an archfey. Are you familiar?
Is that like an elemental?
Somewhat. It is similarly a being of great power.
Oh, like an orc elder.
Yes. But the archfey, you see, has presided over this tavern for years beyond measure. He watches over the place, and their influence stretches over this area of the city, of course, you see. And this tree grew over their shrine years and years ago, and to this day is embodied with the power of the archfey, and continues to grant luck and good tidings to our tavern.
That is fantastic. It is almost like my mother then.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoy your drinks. I'm just to go see where my brother has got to. I'll be right back with you.
And I would like to go closer to the tree and cast Speak with Plants.
Please do.
Yeah, I will. And start a conversation and introduce myself again.
So, I see speaking with plants sort of like a mind link. So, when you start communicating with the plant, you immediately get a sense of its mood. Like, plants communicate more in mood than in words because they don't need to pass fruit to each other. So, immediately you get this sense of contentment and warmth. Not warmth as you know it, but heartfelt warmth.
Mm-hmm.
If it could, the tree would be swaying along to the music.
I will try to communicate who I am, where I came from, that I'm very happy to have found it. Ask it if it knows if we are related to each other. I still think that it is a possibility.
The tree expresses initial worry about your flaminess.
Mhm.
I
explained that I can control the fire and I'm not going to hurt it.
But it takes a long time deciding whether you were grown from the same sort of roots, and decides that maybe not, as he doesn't know of any of the other acorns to have caught fire naturally, at least.
That's
There was
fair.
that accident with his long-lost cousin, Boken.
Oaken the Oaken.
No, Boken the Oak, of course.
Oh,
Okay,
of
so we
course.
are not related then, but we can still be friends.
He likes that. And if he could, he would smile.
Wonderful. So I sit there grinning like a fool behind my scarf at a tree, silently communicating. But I feel reassured.
Are you silent?
Is it silent? Is it not?
I don't know.
mean,
It's,
maybe
up,
I
it's
am
up to you. You can speak to it if you want.
Oh, I'm okay with being the crazy one, so I'm sitting there like, yes. And then once my mother, she came and she did create all the desert. And we don't have trees there, but you are very beautiful and I really like you. And I wonder if you are like a white flower, but much bigger, because I heard about the white flowers.
So as you walk away, Taziel, you can see this strangely cultured character chatting to the tree.
Indeed. I will have a little private laugh to myself, and I think I'd quite like to get back to them quickly, but I do want to go and greet Redleaf, for it has been quite a while since I saw them last.
Which is exactly who Rapture has gone to find as well.
So before Taziel joins you, how do how did Rapture and Redleaf? Let's see that scene before Taziel arrives.
All right, so I'd wander over to Redleaf's room. I've stepped in another invisibility ward at this point. I just assume I'm always invisible in this pub. I just wander in. I'm like, so, my friend, why exactly is it you find yourself looking like a hog roast?
So she went into the first room upstairs that she could find. She's probably on the bed right now. And the chest is kind of just fallen onto the floor. And she's just playing with what seems to be a pendant in her hands as she's just looking at her hands. She does, like, her full form does not seem like she's in a good mood.
Did something happen?
My home blew up.
Come again? Are you being... Is that a literal thing there? Are you actually saying...
Yes, it blew up.
How?
I helped some people today, and I one of them blew up my home, and I don't know what to do. I don't...
A woman with flaming hair and a kenku with a pan on its head.
Yes.
Good God.
I lived in that home for 20 years. You've seen the place, like...
Yes, it was a lovely apartment.
All of it's gone. All of it.
All of it? And you say, which of them did it? Was it... It was the flame-haired one, wasn't it? You probably set it alight.
No, it was... I think it was the Kenku, but I don't care. They're trouble, as far as I'm concerned. As soon as I met them, I had to pull one of them out of the sea. Do you know how to keep them from drowning because they wanted to go dip into the ocean in wintertime?
That's almost a death sentence.
Yes, that's what I thought, but I
They mustn't be from around here. You think
and
somewhere warmer?
I
Chult,
don't
perhaps?
know, and to be honest, I don't care.
Baldur's Gate, maybe?
I don't,
Strange
Maybe.
fellows from around there. There's a fly in my room and it's very annoying.
they say they're from some sort of desert. I don't know. Maybe they're from down south.
It'd be about now that Tazio walks in.
Redleaf, whatever happened to you, darling?
And as soon as she sees you, her face starts to scrunch up, and she gets that look that people get when they're about to burst into tears. And she says, "Tazzy," and she starts to cry.
Oh no! Come on, no, can't have not today, not at the masquerade. And I go and give them a hug.
So she hugs them.
Wow.
Oh yeah, is this a good time to do our descriptions? Because I forgot we haven't done those yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
After you.
Rapture, do you want to go first? You were introduced first.
All right, fine. So Raptor is a... you can't see their face right now as it is obscured beneath a white Grecian theater mask, which has a neutral expression to it. They have blue skin that at the tips of everything tints to sort of a pale, like an ochre yellow. They're wearing a long flowing coat over a buccaneer shirt and a waistcoat. They've got big high boots on, and they're constantly playing in one of their hands with 8 pieces of gold that just flick between their fingers and are stacked up and clicking around. Probably very annoying to some people. And their horns curl from the back of their head and up and around. And if you look on Rachel's Twitter, you can see a picture that she drew of him. And it's really nice. So yeah, that's Rapture.
Indeed. Taziel, on the other hand, is clearly not a tiefling. She has very rich tan skin, and her eyes are, however, like a very bright gold and almost kind of glowing white in the center, like very hot. And her hair is very long, braided. It's like a curious dark greenish teal color and kind of shaved short at the side with these kind of strange patterns cut into the short hair either side, just above her ear. And she wears this very flamboyant, dark, greenish navy blue jacket with these great long sleeves. Very high black leather boots, these kind of puffy trousers that tuck into the boots. And just all in all has a similarly colourful and flamboyant look to complement Rapture's. And she also has, and at the moment it's not really moving, so it looks like it could almost be jewelry. Has what looks like a very small golden serpent just kind of arranged around her throat. And at the moment, now she's stepped into the room, she's removed her mask, but when she's been out and about mingling with the rest of the guests at the masquerade, she has been wearing this black fox mask with these golden accents around the eyes and the ears. But now she's just kind of kneeling a little bit and just kind of giving a hug to Redleaf.
As soon as you hug, she's like starts just unloading. It's just like, my apartment's gone, everything is exploded, I don't have anything anymore, and I know that it's the party right now, but I don't have anywhere where to stay, and I really could appreciate a room or something.
Of course, we wouldn't begrudge you that. Oh
wait, was my illusion sharp with you?
And she kind of like stares up at you and kind of gives you a, yeah.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Better be glad that wasn't your foot I threw the chest down on.
You tried to put that on my...
Yes! I thought it was you.
Well, that means my illusions are working, at the very least. But enough about me right now. Yes, you can stay here as long as you want. You know that.
Of course. You know, I'm sure it won't take you long to find another lovely, well-furnished, comfortable home like that one.
That's not the point. That was my home. It was my home.
Well, it looks like for the foreseeable future, this is going to have to be your home.
Just make sure you don't let any Kenkus or crazy desert out of towners in here.
Oh, it's all right. I've been dealing with them.
Did you get gold out of them yet?
I mean, I took the knife in the end. I mean, would you really want to piss off someone whose hair is on fire?
I mean, I don't really want someone who causes buildings to explode by walking into them inside my thousands-of-year-old tavern, but...
Well, yes, but I mean, you know, the patron himself wouldn't allow that to happen. And besides, if we keep them happy, then we might get more out of them in the future. Besides, even if this, and I take the knife out, even if this knife isn't worth the price of board and lodging and food for the two of them, I bet you we can sell it for that much. We just need to, you know, spin a tale, create some nice, long, expansive story of how we got this knife. To a collector, it could be worth, well, as much gold as we can ring them for.
Well, that's the best thing you can do, because they don't have any gold.
They don't have any gold at all.
They have nothing.
But
How
I'm
is that-
famous. I'm not there, but I'm famous.
How have they got here with no gold at all?
I don't know. They just appeared like out of the sky. Do you know that they like came in through the roof of the of you know the hall where you go to get a cheap meal? It's rather, you know,
Yes.
down the way. They came in through the roof like a stone.
Right.
In the bar area, a roguishly handsome man walks towards Falger. He has a white top laced up, but very much undone, so you can see his chest. He has long golden hair. There is a lute strapped to his back, and his figure, though small, is very lean. And he strolls forward and says to Falger in the common tongue, "Surely a desert rose like you is so very far from home to be in this fey patron here. There is a large, like, peacock mask over his eyes."
You can tell that I was the daughter of the desert?
"Are not all of your kind daughters of the desert?
What do you mean, all of your kind?
Those like you, of course. Such
Those like
elegant,
me.
fiery beauties."
There are not... Wait, there are more? That, like me, here?
"Well, there must be. You can't be the only one. I would not be that lucky."
I look at Dave. I'm like, is that guy serious? If you think that I am a Genasi, then you are quite mistaken. I am not the unnatural offspring of some Efriti.
You
I like things that are sharp better.
How could anything as beautiful as you come from something like an Efreet? No, 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 no. Truly, you must be unique. How foolish of me not to see it originally. Tell me, where are you from? May I get you a drink?
I would like to minor illusion a mirror in front of his face, so he has a nice distraction.
And he immediately, as soon as the mirror does appear, he's like,
Just for if we enter this scene, do either of us know who that is?
yes, yes. I will tell you later, so as not to spoil things for Dave and Falger.
Can I do an insight check on that guy, what he wants from us?
Yeah, while he's distracted, can we like insight and arcana the bullshit that's going on right now?
Yes, of course you can. One each. One does insight, the other does arcana.
Yeah, I want to do arcana.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have a skill in that, that's what I want to do.
That's a 14 on insight.
12, even with my disadvantage.
Yes. And Fauji, you don't have an advantage to use up. So on a 12 Arcana, there is some sort of magic to this man, but it looks as though he needs his guitar to make it work. It seems as though he can maybe charm or enhance abilities, those sorts of things. He seems like you've noticed this from times you've spent with bards in the past.
But his actual appearance isn't an illusion.
His actual appearance is not an illusion. He genuinely is this beautiful.
Hate him all the more.
Chiseled cheekbones, all of it, 100% real. Fauja on a 14, he genuinely wants to know more about you, but that's not all he wants.
What else do you want?
To get you a drink, of course.
Food and ale, please.
I'll tell you now that I once was taught if a man tries to get fresh, I'm going to stab you. And at first say no, because that is the right thing to do.
He drops
and I
into
pat
a
this
bow.
carved dagger on my brow.
He drops into a bow, fist on his chest, and goes to one knee on the ground and says, my apologies. I did not mean to offend you. Please, I'll leave some coin. Please enjoy drinks to yourselves and excuse me for...
Food and ale, please.
I'm getting mixed signals.
I'm just telling you, you can come and you can sit and eat and drink with us and we will gladly talk to you, but don't try any tricks.
So you're not going to stab me?
No, I first say no, and then I stab you if you don't stop. Because that is the right thing to do. If you are a respectable person.
Well, time will tell.
It will indeed.
And he will sit at the
Wait
bar
then.
next to you. And he will call, Tazzy, Rapture. Any chance of some service?
I will come in.
I will stomp up beside Rapture.
You will recognize Samil. The Lord Byron's son, sitting with Dave and Fauja. Next to be general in the army, training hard, a paladin. No, sorry. Bard, training to be a paladin.
What are you doing here?
Why, just coming to, spend time at the masquerade.
What do you want to drink?
You are our guest. You will have drinks and service.
Yes.
I assure you are treating our guests with the fun and respect due to this occasion.
Am I not always respectful?
Well, I don't think we're quite on Tazzy terms yet, are we?
I apologize, milady.
It's quite all right. What can I get you to drink, Neil?
Food and ale, please. That's correct, is it not, my dear Kenku? Tell me, what are your names? No, sorry, it's a masquerade.
No names.
I assume, Samil, you were treating these two fine guests of ours?
Yes, they dine on my tab tonight.
Oh,
People
wonderful.
Like to join in for the fun of it.
Oh, they're dining on you tonight.
Yeah.
By all means.
In
I'd
that-
rather use the table if it's all right with you.
Would you like another mango cocktail, my friend?
I'd love to.
Perhaps
Of
you'd
course.
like to try the steak.
Okay.
Wonderful. 2 steaks coming right
Oh,
up.
you
Filet
simply must try the lobster as well.
Of course, yes.
What
the
is a lobster?
Yes, lobster thermidor, of course. Oh, and while we're at it, we have some wild truffles.
Scorpion! Okay, I tried the scorpion.
Must you rub it in my face? Do you have perhaps some
Scorpion,
chia seeds,
please.
perhaps a salad? Something,
Yes, I have a
preferably
salad.
raw foods, you know my dietary requirements.
Yes,
Naturally.
I do, Saya. Yes, of course. Right. I will go get them their food. Tazio, do you mind expecting it when it comes out of the kitchen to make sure it's
Of
full?
course.
Wonderful. Right.
I,
Farewell.
ha- I have to say, you do apologize very often.
I grew up unaware of certain privileges. I find it's easier to make amends with an apology than it is to walk with blind ignorance.
Or being stabbed. Yes, I can see that point.
I do like not getting stabbed.
Yeah.
So, what brings you to Waterdeep? You are new, I assume? I have not seen you around before. I would recognize a beauty such as yours.
No, we are new.
Okay, well, welcome. Welcome to Waterdeep. I'm...
Thank you. Does it
Very-
belong to you?
No, it does not belong to me. I am merely a resident. I help govern part of the army, although we don't have much action these days.
Does Waterdeep has a roof mistress? Or an elder? Some form of ruler? Maybe like an elemental? Because I think the tree is not really the ruler of the... Although maybe it is. It is a very nice tree.
I mean, we could sit and talk politics all evening, but why don't we talk instead about you two? And he looks at Dave as well. I don't wish to exclude you at all. I mean, if I'm being a third wheel, I can leave you two together.
Have you not heard? This is not just a mere Kenku. This is Dave, the Divine.
And he takes a moment and goes, "No, surely not. I wouldn't be in the same bar as Dave the Divine. They're famous across all of Waterdeep. The Flying Kenku."
Yes, that is my best friend. Dave the Divine.
Then perhaps surely I should be eating on your tab, Dave, for you are possibly the most famous person in all of Waterdeep.
No.
Okay.
She's amazing.
Yes, I can see that.
Merciless, like the desert sun.
That too.
The tavern door opens, and 3 watchmen walk in. Rapture and Tazil, you would recognize this routine. They've been shaking down your patrons for the last week. As a known magical residents, they often come in to check magical licenses.
And of course, everyone's is always in order because they're always illusionary.
Psychic paper.
But yes, they walk in and they go, all right, lots of magic going on round here. Rapture, is this all yours?
Who else would it be? You know, I have a person for warding everything.
Bill, is that the one that you saw down at the docks? And goes, yeah, that's her, all right. The one with the fire, created a bonfire. Didn't check her license, didn't think to.
Do I notice these people come in?
Oh yes.
At which point I just kind of look as if I've dropped something under the table, and while I'm under that, I'm going to disguise myself. I have the impression these guys mean trouble. And I reemerge as one of the sailors that we saw fall through the roof. I come back out looking at like one of these battered sailors, and I sit back up. I'm kind of more burly. There's like an anchor tattoo on my neck. There's a great big black eye forming.
Yeah, that's the one there. Yeah, the one with the fiery hair. Looks like she found a bloke for the evening. And Samuel turns around and double takes. Excuse me, Watchman. Not tonight, thank you. Run along. And there's a real sudden tension in the air as these guardsmen have clearly just been dismissed by Samil. There's nothing they can do about it, but they're certainly not happy about it. Is there anything you would like to do in this moment?
How do I get... What is a license and how do I get it?
Oh, I'll take you later and we can sort one out.
Okay.
Yes, she's with me. You don't need to worry about her. We'll get all of her magical licenses sorted out. No way to treat guests, you know. Coming in and shaking the place down like they're criminals.
You know, Samuel, they've been doing this for the past week.
Wow, are these
Um,
I
gorgeous?
know.
At this, I will come up the stairs with drinks. So, well, brother, come now. Anyone who steps over our door becomes a guest.
Oh, I'm aware of that, yes.
Gentlemen,
Uh,
is there anything I can get you before you head off?
No, thank you. I'm on duty, and, no, I prefer... No, thank you.
Perhaps
Thank you.
another time then. Do come back.
Yeah,
Of course.
Slowly walking them towards the door.
And they leave.
Good night.
Disgruntled. I'm terribly sorry about that. Have they been bothering you long? He's addressing Falja.
Oh? No, I only saw them earlier today. And a very nice citizen did give them a lot of money and then they left us alone.
Gifted them a lot of money.
Yes, gold.
50 gold.
Mm-hmm.
50 gold.
Yes.
Indeed.
They said that maybe we are the reason for some weird magic, but I assure you, we did not do anything.
No.
I swear.
He sighs and tosses his hair.
Samuel, is there any reason why the magical inspections have been stepping up so much recently?
Yes, the recent plague of wild magic surges that seem to be happening everywhere but in your pub, Rapture.
Well, we do have protection of quite a powerful creature here. You understand that, Samuel? You've been to our masquerades before. You know what
Yes.
goes on here.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain you were here when my sister made that deal.
Yes,
What a deal.
I
It was an
understand
arrangement of sorts.
perfectly. But it's one of the reasons that I chose this tavern myself this evening.
You do understand our deal as well. We don't kick you out, and you don't perform here. This is my tavern, after all. And
Oh.
I am, of course, its performer.
I could do such wonderful little ditties for you, Rapture. We could do
Oh,
duets.
I'm aware. Perhaps one day in the future when we know each other better.
What's a ditty?
Oh, don't ask. Neither of them, please.
Oh, stick with me, and I will show you exactly what a ditty is and how beautiful they can be.
Phrasing.
I touch my curved deck and like, uh-huh.
I get.
Has
No,
anyone ever told you you're surprisingly frosty for a fiery person?
Has anyone ever told you that if you step too close to the fire and are not immune, that you get burned?
It surprises me that you need to put that little caveat on there if you're not immune. Do you come from a place where that's the regular?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Thank you, Dave the Divine.
It was not. I wasn't the only one, but yeah.
Right. I see. Well, I'll get your food in a moment. It's just cooking. But as for now, do enjoy the festivities.
Indeed.
And we'll talk more about those guardsmen later, Samuel.
Yes. Honestly,
Perhaps-
I've lost my appetite. I'm going to go and check in with the guardsmen. But here, I don't know what to call you, and of course it's a masquerade, so I can't ask you your name. But perhaps I'll call you
Daughter of the desert.
That is who I
Daughter.
am.
of the desert. Yes, I love that. Daughter of the desert. Here, here's my address and my.
You?
If you give this phrase to any of the servants, you'll be able to speak to me directly. Should the guards give you any trouble, let me know and I'll deal with them.
I take the piece of paper. Aha! It is like a magic, right?
Dave the Divine, he bows low.
Dave,
Rapture and Tazeel.
forgetting she's like in sailor form, and the illusionary head, which is probably like a good foot higher than her actual head, just hits the table.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
No, the pleasure is all mine. Rapture
Not
Tazeel.
You run.
Farewell for now, Sammy.
Good evening.
Yes.
You should come back for another card reading sometime.
Yes, I do so enjoy them. Very well. And Samuel leaves. He exits stage right, tossing his beautiful hair.
I lean across to Falja and I whisper, "That is a problem for later me."
I agree. I say, and I put the cards in my.
You know,
In
it's
my
just
room.
all these years and he still hasn't figured out I don't actually have a magic license.
Well, as long as he never stops to think about that, we're fine.
So, do you need one or do you don't need one?
I will sort you out with one. Don't you worry about that.
Yes, if you're not in this area, or if you're not with a practitioner such as my brother who can easily get you past any such checks, I suggest you do have one.
They can be expensive, though, and they will judge your character as well as your magic, which
My
means...
character is impeccable. I have you known. I'm very respectable.
I'm sure
My
you
hair
are.
is like puffing up.
I'm really bad at lying.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Seems to
Wonderful.
sum it up quite well.
Yes. I'll have fun with you.
And I'm also more interested in the Glassblowers Guild than anything else.
All right.
Also, actually, we came here because we wanted to talk to this woman called Red Leaf.
Oh, Redleaf,
Oh,
yes.
you know Redleaf.
Wait, you're the ones that
Yeah.
blew... You're the ones that blew up Redleaf's house.
No, we didn't. It was a strange magic. It was just happenstance that it happened when we stepped foot in there. It was not on purpose. I swear. It was not meant to be like that.
Well, supposedly she can't lie, brother.
I swear. I'm very honest.
I
We
mean,
didn't do it on purpose. I mean, there were men raining on her earlier. It could have just been, it is a strange magic. Something is afoot here. Some form of powerful magic on the right.
There are wizards afoot.
Yes.
Yes, there are quite a
Yes,
few
there
wizards
are.
in Waterdeep, yes.
And they are always up to no good.
Oh, that's
I take her.
definitely true.
I will go check on Redleaf.
Oh, so she is here. That is good. Where is she?
They're just resting up at the moment. I think they're still somewhat in shock after the loss of their property. While my brother goes and checks up on them, you mentioned not being familiar with ditties. Well, how about card reading? Do you have that where you're from?
No.
Excellent. Well, how about I offer you a little glimpse into your past, present, and future on the house?
I know my past.
Well, maybe we can illuminate it even more. Or maybe I can simply surprise you with what I might know about your past. Simply from these.
All right, then.
Excellent, excellent. Well, and I take, as I was holding up, a pack of about roughly 70 to 80 long, thin cards, and I mix them up and fan them out. Now, usually I do charge for this service, but because you're making such an impression, and because it seems you're a little down on your luck at the moment, I will
No.
let you have one for free.
Wait a second. Then I go through my pockets, and you see that under those sand gold-colored robes with the orange and red and the triangle shapes, there are all those little glass baubles sewn onto them, like coins, basically. And she's getting out of her pocket one of those baubles, and there is this little hook on it made out of bone, so you can put it on your ear or something. How about these? Would this suffice?
Absolutely, that's simply beautiful. Thank you so much.
As this is going on, Dave is slowly pocketing the gold that Samuel left on the table, or the money. I forget how much it was, but it's just slowly disappearing into various pockets. And I would like to use a nat 20 on my sleight of hand so that no one knows where this money is. And with my skill in sleight of hand, that makes it a 25. Just in case anyone's passive perception is super high.
Not that high. Well, very well, my friend. In that case, I would like you to pick 3 cards for me, and I fan out the cards in my hand.
Okay, I would like this and this one.
Yes.
And this one.
Excellent. Well, let's see what they have to say, shall we?
Mhm.
And I take the cards. I look at them.
And what do they tell you?
Well, your first card is the 2 of Wands. This card tells me that recently you formed an enterprising alliance with certain individuals. You formed new partnerships. You met new people. You embarked upon new relationships.
Oh yes, Dave the Divine is my best friend, and I'm part of her flock now. But I have only one staff, and I show you the full price. So maybe I get another one as well.
Perhaps you will. Perhaps we'll have to see. Indeed. Well.
You are right. This is what the secret gave me. And I start rummaging through my pockets and pull out a glowing wand.
You have no end of surprises.
Yes. I almost forgot. Never mind that. And I put it away.
Fascinating, fascinating. Well, let's have a look at what the cards have to say about your present. Your second card is an interesting one. For the second card is the Devil. That can symbolize a lot of interesting things. In this case, you are, or currently, dealing with some sort of sorrow, some sort of loss or pain.
Lucian.
Well, a demon lord enslaved one of my other friends and took my mother hostage. Is that enough sorrow for you? And they looked kind of like this one on the card.
That's a strikingly literal interpretation. Goodness.
Yeah.
How interesting.
Oh, good. You're really good at this.
Yes, so it would seem. Wow. And your final card, and this pertains to your future, my friend, is the Magician. And the Magician speaks of the ability to overcome, the ability to adapt to change, the ability to keep going, to be determined no matter what might befall you. So I believe whatever you are seeking, you will find it. And I believe your strength of character will see you through, as will your kind and generous nature in this endeavor.
I put up Dave so she can see the card. That is the one that we have to find. I bet this one is... That is the one who's doing all this. I'm sure this is the future. So this one is doing the wild magic. We need to find him or her. Is it him or her? And I look very close at the card.
The future.
It's not very clear from the card.
The secret. The future.
Yes.
Wizard.
Yes. Like Theophilus.
Indeed. Well, certainly seems the cards have a lot in store for you in your future, and I am merely honored to have played a small part in that.
Maybe you can come with us and read the cards every time and again, and then we find out who the magician is.
Well, if you do it too often, you wear the magic out.
Oh.
But it can help to give you a little guidance, I suppose. But, well, as for coming with you, it would be presently. It'll be difficult for me to leave the Fey Patron. You understand this is my home and I have to help run it. We have a skeleton staff, and I wave to the barkeep, who is diligently working very hard. And of course, Rapture is, always running about his, theatrical persuasion.
That bartender has a lot of meat on his bones for a skeleton.
He does, doesn't he? Oh, I am very fond of you. I'm very pleased you came to visit us today.
I'm very glad to hear that. Now we only have to fix all the white magic and apologize to Redleaf. And then we need to get stronger so we can go back to the desert and defeat the demon lord.
And Dave would like to insight the crap out of Taziel to see how much of a sham she is.
Me?
Me?
Little old me.
She's tired. She might miss it. Who knows?
Oh, I rolled a net 1. I totally trust you.
10.
How do you feel? I mean, insight. What's your passive wisdom?
Fine.
No, Taziel, sorry.
Oh, my passive wisdom is 12.
Yeah, no, she seems legit. Or at least difficult enough to read to seem legit enough. There's definitely something mysterious about her.
Mm-hmm.
The tree likes you, and I like the tree, and we are friends now, so you are my friend as well.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much. And indeed, I'm very fond of the tree as well. I've been taking care of it for many years now.
It is a him.
Sometimes.
I talked to him, right? Before the weird one with the hair came over and gave me his card.
Of course. Yes, he gives his card to a lot of people, but he seems to pay some special attention to you.
It's because of the hair, right? I noticed that no one has the hair like that.
No, your hair is something special.
Would you like to see a trick?
Go on, as long as it doesn't involve burning anything down.
I try. So then I touch my hair and take out, it looks like I'm grabbing just a few strands of hair, and then I have the fire on my hand and let it dance over the fingers, and then let it disappear.
That is quite a trick. You and I could do quite a fantastic show together, I think, if you were so inclined.
Maybe. I can do more with the fire, but you said no burning down, so...
Yes, it's best we be careful in the moment, yes?
So, why don't we venture into the other room to see what Rapture and Redleaf have been up to since Rapture left?
Redleaf, my dear. The two downstairs, they say they weren't the ones that blew up your house, and they wish to speak to you.
I don't want to talk to them, dear. I'm sorry. I don't.
They're quite a strange pair, aren't they?
I'm sorry, but if you step into my house and then it just happens to explode as soon as you do, no, they had something to do with it, but I don't know why.
That snoot Samuel was around again. He said that's not.
Wait, he was here?
Yes, I think he keeps trying to muscle in on my business, but he pays well, so he can stay for as long as that.
Was he and she kind of stalls for a second. Was she? Was he in his uniform?
No, he was in his suit.
Oh, okay.
He did, however, get some guards to leave us alone. You know, the ones that have been checking the magic licenses.
He's nice. You should be nice to him.
I know I should be, and I'm amicable. It's just he tries to muscle in on my territory. You understand? This is my theater, not his.
Did he say anything?
He said that there have been these strange happenstances of magic throughout the city for a few days now. It seems like perhaps your household was not the only thing that has been affected. Much as I hate to agree with him, it sounds like you your house may not have been the exact fault of this Dave the Divine and whatever the other one is called.
Dave the Divine?
Flying Kangaroo, apparently.
That one.
Yes. I thought they were cursed to not be able to fly. It takes a lot to overcome a god's curse.
It's true. Is Samuel still downstairs, or?
No, he had to leave. He seemed quite perturbed by the guards coming in here. And about the 50 gold that you had to pay them off with. It was the same ones supposedly from the docks.
I hope you didn't tell them that it was me that paid them. You know?
No.
It's still a crime, but, you know,
No one mentioned your name. No one mentioned your name. It's fine.
What did his suit look like?
It was white. And a peacock masquerade mask on.
It would suit him.
It did suit him quite well. Just saying a lot. White suits are notoriously melodramatic, and that's coming from me.
And next time he comes in, like, be nice to him, because that's not. You know what I mean.
Fine, I will be nice to him the next time he comes in.
So since I don't have a home, and I don't know if I can find another place right now, I want you to have the rest of my gold.
What, all of it?
Mm-hmm. It's like I can always get more, and I know you guys are in a very rough spot right now, and I just want to help.
As much as we are, Redleaf, we can't take all of your gold. You've worked hard for that.
That's savings. I don't.
Look, how about this? Give us 50 gold. And you can keep the rest. And we'll say that that is an indefinite rental agreement. And you can rent this room out. As long as you need it. You've been our friend for a long time now. I remember the first day you stumbled in here, thinking that this tree was some sort of connection to the Feywild.
I kissed it too.
You did kiss it, that's why we call you Redleaf.
By the way, do you have any of that brandy still around?
We do,
Like,
and you're not allowed it.
Maybe some wine then.
Yes. I think right now what you need is to be around people. Being alone with your thoughts like this is just going to make you go around in circles, thinking about your home.
I don't want to go down there. I look a mess and look like I'm all smoky and ashy, and I don't even have all my dresses are gone, and
Well, you know I can fix you up with that right away. Now, come on. Only for an hour. An hour?
all
What?
right, it's fine.
You know I always was able to get your way. I promise for the next hour, no more clacking of coins.
You're an ass.
I am indeed, but I am a beautiful ass.
You don't have to tell me that.
And I will cast Prestidigitation first to clean up Redleaf, get rid of all the singeing, and then I will disguise Redleaf in a wonderful, beautiful dress made out of lily petals, or what look to be lily petals. And of course, there is an autumnal hue to the entirety of the outfit.
Rapture. You didn't have to.
It's fine. As it stands, I've only used this spell today. The rest of them, I've just been skipping around the place standing on my glyphs.
It's very sweet of you. And she'll get up off of the bed and with a few clicks of her heels is gonna hug you.
Now, You take the rest of your gold tomorrow and you go buy yourself a new wardrobe. I will not have a companion of mine looking like a rough and tumble lout from the streets. I've done enough in that life for the two of us.
I would love for you and Taziel to come with me.
Perhaps we can. We've got a lot going on right now, as you know. Come now.
Okay.
Let's go downstairs. And I will hook my arm under yours and lead you down the stairs.
Right. She'll wipe a tear and take your arm, kind of, holding it, and let you walk her down the stairs.
I'm going to say because there's like a good 1.5 height difference between the two of us, right?
Yeah. She's 5'1", and
Yeah, and Rapture is 6'2".
Yeah. She'll actually stop you on the way out. It's like, oh, wait a moment. And she goes back to the chest. And she pulls out her brooch that you've seen a few times before, and she pins that into the back of her hair, and it's in the makeshift of a flower, but once it's put inside, it becomes real plant life and becomes this kind of like white daisy almost, and the vines kind of wrap around some of her hair, and then she comes back to your arm. It's like, all right, I'm ready.
Do you have a mask?
And she says, oh, 1 second, and she's going to cast silent image on her face, so that there's this mask, and it's going to be this kind of fall leaves kind of splayed about in this star motif around her face.
All right, and then I will lead you down back into the main area of the tavern, being very gentle and caring, keeping a hand on your arm.
And she looks around the place, just kind of now seemingly very shy right now.
I feel like at this point, Dave is probably finishing whatever food's been put in front of her, because she's a quick eater, to say the least. And she probably gave up on trying to explain that lobsters are like scorpions of the sea. I think Valja got it eventually, but so she's probably tucked in, and
It's a water scorpion. I get it now. Deep water scorpion.
and she's probably turned back into Kenku form, and is basically gonna hop down off her seat, scoot under the table, and head for the door. She has achieved what she wanted to in here and has had a good meal.
Did something scream in the background? Because I heard that.
Hang a
I
minute.
didn't hear that.
Let me try it one more time.
Faintly.
Ooh.
Dave picks up pace and goes even faster to the door and out of the front door to see who is screaming in the distance.
Yes, and I rush after Dave.
Outside.
And I
Sorry,
look
carry
at
on.
the sky to see if there are people falling from it. Because who knows?
That's the thing that happens here.
So, who's heading outside?
I will also dash outside. I have been like dancing around with using a mage hand to give drinks and tossing cards and stuff, but on hearing that, I'll be like, and dash outside as well.
Everyone heads outside. Who's Gust with?
I don't know.
With Fausha last.
I
Where he's
imagine
been.
like Gus would have poofed to Redleaf by now, right?
I
would have
guess
thought
he
so. He
is.
is
Yeah.
more familiar after all.
Mhm.
Redleaf, are you staying inside or are you coming outside when you hear the scream?
She'll pause, trying to see where the noise is trying to come from,
Outside.
and then she'll try to grab at the bottom of her dress to try to run downstairs faster. But then as soon as it goes through, she's like, "Oh, right, I forgot," and she's just gonna run because it's all fake. So
let me just double check. I'm fairly sure. Yep. So we had 20 retweets Wild Magic Surge, which went to Fausha. Please, Fausha. Dave, you can thank Isriva for a Wild Magic Surge. And Redleaf, can you please roll 1, 2,
442, right?
442.
All right.
5 wild magic surges for Gust, please.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
So there's 1 for Redleaf and then 5 for Gust.
Do you
No,
want us
no,
to
no.
roll?
All 5 are for Gust.
Right.
None for
Do you
Redleaf.
want us to help you roll? Because there are 5 of us.
Yeah, we could do
Everyone
that.
could do 1 each. Yeah, that'd be grand.
Mhm.
Let's do it.
In that case.
1d442, I believe, yeah.
Mhm.
Keep rolling lovely round numbers.
Is Reaper, I swear to God.
So let's see. 3, 7, 9. Oh no, hang on. You've already done 1. Okay, cool. So first of all, Gust's feet turn into cheese.
Does Gust have feet? Oh yeah, it's a sprite, right?
Yeah, he's a sprite. He's like a small elf with wings.
I'm holding that one for Fauja. I can't actually figure out where I made my notes previously, but you know, gotta be in here somewhere, right? I literally made a note about 5 minutes ago. Can I find it? I swear this is my curse. There it is. I put it on a random page. Of course I did. Lovely. Dave, on a 91, you feel itchy.
Apparently, Lobster does not agree with Dave.
Let me know when I need to roll the rest, or if there's is what it is. I'm confused.
So from now on, when Gust talks, he no longer moves his mouth, but still, but his mouth doesn't move.
Say that again. Gotcha.
That's already true, so we don't need to worry about that. And 140. That's also already true. Yeah, no, nothing too bad happens. His feet just turn into cheese and, you know. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
One
yes,
more?
one more. $291, that seems familiar. Oh, cool. Let's put it this way. Chorus, the player, not Redleaf, Chorus. You'd probably enrage if I read out all of these.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. No,
Well,
go
one
ahead.
of them, for example, is target now has 2 more skills with proficiency.
I mean, I could add that because they have skills, so I'll just add.
Yeah, any 2 you like.
skills to it.
Any 2 you like. Other things, they now want to be a fashion icon. They believe themselves to be godly handsome. They have cheese for feet, and they begin each sentence with a nonsense swear word, which doesn't change at all, really.
I think Ira would probably lift his head up off of my shoulder, see this, and just like have a little chuckle, and then put his head back down.
A little snake chuckle.
Outside, there is a fair maiden screaming, because there are 3 men lying on the floor, 3 guardsmen whom all of you will recognize. They are
Gets what happened here?
pooling with blood.
What?
Are there assassins? I say look around.
No, is that a common thing with you?
Are they dead clearly, or?
They have stab wounds through the heart.
I'm not sure I can fix that.
I look at Falja.
Yes, I hand you my bag with the good berries.
We used it up unless you can conjure some more. Because we used it all on the men that were falling.
Oh, right.
I had some down at the docks.
All right. I would like to go over and do a medicine check to see if there is anything we can do with just cure wounds.
Yeah, I'll dash over as well.
13.
Their wounds heal up, and you can sew them up, but a dead body is a dead body, unfortunately.
I was just doing a medicine check to see if there is something to do.
And
Okay.
that's your answer. They are dead.
They are dead. There's
I'll
nothing we can do with the magic.
I'll just be looking around. Did anyone see what happened?
I came around the corner, and they were standing there looking at the bar. Then they all fell down, and suddenly, her chest blooms, as though a blade has been stabbed through it. As blood erupts from her rib cage.
My head snaps to Falja, and I do this.
And
Is
Oh.
something invisible?
she collapses.
I can't. Oh wait, yeah, I can. I will transform into a scorpion and hop on your shoulder.
Dave takes up and flies for the roof because fuck this noise.
I will cast See Invisibility. I can see anything invisible for the next 10 minutes.
There is indeed a rogue standing behind this woman. He's not quite invisible, but when you cast See Invisible, he becomes very, very apparent. He sort of looks more like he's camouflaged really well. He doesn't know you've seen him. He's almost certainly using some sort of magical cloaking.
Okay. I will flick the coins in my hand and cast Slow, which means he needs to make a saving throw. Or they need to make a saving throw. Apologies.
Which kind of saving throw would you like?
That would be a wisdom saving throw for me, please. I have a little card. Wisdom saving throw. Wisdom.
Oh yeah, of course. Meh.
Yes, wizard saving throw.
Wizard's saving throw.
Save versus wizard.
16. How does a 16 hit you?
That will be a pass. And as I cast a spell, I just yell out, "Sister!" and point towards it.
Okay.
As you point to it, cast. Does the magic also make it? Will he know he's had a spell cast on him?
Yes, yeah.
In that case, let us enter initiative.
Okay, initiative, huh?
Oh, I thought I was going first.
I'm certainly not going first.
And then the rogue came along.
So, Chorus, it seems you have the higher dexterity.
So, do I see this kind of wave, like this person where he points?
You will see an anomaly where he points,
Okay.
just like something just not quite right. It's almost like a catch of the eye.
So in that case, Relief is going to drop the illusion that's on her, and she's going to point towards it and is going to tell Gust, shoot him! And Gust is going to pull out his tiny little short bow and fire his poisoned arrow at them. And it's going to be, I'm going to use my nat 20 on that to hit. We're going to take 1 piercing, and they need to make a Constitution saving throw, or become poisoned for 1 minute. And I'm going to use your nat 1 Scrat, because if the saving throw results in a 5 or below, the poison target falls unconscious for 1 minute. So,
Well, in one fell swoop, you fell this assassin.
It's unconscious. Poof, on the ground. It's like he's sleeping.
Rapture, are there any more?
Can I see anything else?
Give me a quick perception check.
Let me roll my perception. Oh, good lord.
No.
It's not that I can see, but you know how my eyes are sometimes.
And for my action, I'll do a perception and then end my turn if I don't see anything.
He's unconscious. There's no turns at the moment.
Oh,
Dave,
okay.
up on the roof, turns to Falja, the little scorpion on her shoulder, and says, "The high ground is always good." And she's like peering over the edge, over the guttering down.
like Batman style.
I will stomp over to the assassin, and Rapture will notice that like I look very angry, and immediately just like put my boot heel like on their neck, just pinning them down, just incredibly like enraged, just in case they wake up or do anything. I'm just like pinning them down, waiting to see what happens.
I'll cast Silent Image and basically make where the dead guards are, and the woman. I'll just basically make that flat terrain so that no one can see the bodies there, and just go, someone go get the guard, please. Samael, somebody go get someone in charge here. This has been 4 murders.
And Red Leaf is going to turn to Gust and say, "Gust, I need you to go back to base and tell the Harpers about this. Okay, go quickly."
Falja and Dave, I took the liberty of checking your passive perceptions. A man or woman or someone pushes you both from behind so that you will tumble off of the roof.
Do I get an attack of opportunity with my scorpion tail?
Unfortunately, you are surprised.
Oh.
So Dave, you will tumble off. Falja is in scorpion form, and you will just see him flick a small vial before running away, if possible. Yes, running away.
I guess I need to make a deck save to try not to splat us on the ground.
But
or
yeah,
I can use Featherfall as a reaction and stop us from hitting the ground.
that's another thing you could do.
I think what I would like to do is try and do a deck save to try and not hit the ground because I want my wings to spread, because I was just pushed off a roof and I'm very annoyed about that, and I want to like instant U-turn to go and get whoever just pushed me off a friggin' roof.
Yes, I like that idea.
So that is what I would like to do.
So I hold onto her cloak and look around to see who pushed us.
That's an 11.
Yeah, on an 11, you can flap your wings and fly enough to land safely. But the U-turn isn't as quick as you would like.
That's fine. It's still what I want to do, so that's what I'm going with.
So by the time you get back up there, the rooftop is clear. The vial hits the ground near the assassin, and do any of you have a poisonous kit or a herbalist kit? Or proficiency with?
Herbalist.
Falja, if you can see this, you will recognize that it is some kind of acid that is etching its way into the paving stones and pooling around the assassin's body.
Okay.
The body!
Can I see this where I'm kind of standing almost on top of them?
You'll smell it.
Okay, can I try and like grab them and like drag them away?
Can you please make me a... How are you going to do it? Give me a description first. Give me a narrative description.
Okay, so assuming the acid hasn't started affecting their clothes and I won't get it on my gloves, I would probably, this would be completely kind of impulse, I'd probably just try and drag them off.
So the splash
Physically.
will have caked the ground around them and some of their clothes in this acid, and it is immediately ripping into their clothes. It's highly corrosive. It's burning even into the cobblestones.
Can I? Okay. I would like to touch them and cast fly to try and levitate their body.
Does fly work like that? Does it need to be
I don't know. I've
willing?
never cast it before. Hold on. Oh, it has to be a willing creature, so probably not.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that won't work. If you have
Alright,
levitate, you could levitate them.
I do not have levitate, sadly.
As you pull him up, I will cast Tensor's floating disc underneath him.
Okay.
So that you can sort of put him on it and float him away.
I probably pick him up by like his front collar lapel, so I try and do it before the poison reached at the top of his clothing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you pick him up and put him onto the disc, his clothes, which I assume you're gripping him by, will rip away as the acid has eaten through them so quickly that you've essentially just removed most of his clothing.
This isn't how I expected this evening to go, Rapture!
Yes, I know. Right, just get his clothes off. We cannot have this, whoever this is, dying here in front of us.
Hold on, can I see they've already started taking damage?
They have taken surprisingly little, just small burn marks.
Okay, in that case I will hold back.
As you pull away his clothes, you can see he is very, very plain. Bald-headed, nondescript face. You'd struggle to describe him in a crowd. And that's not because he is just plain, but when you look at him, you find it difficult to summon the words to describe even the shape of his nose. You're not quite sure if it is straight or if it's bent or anything along those lines.
Let's just get him clear of this substance.
Yes.
This moment, a guardsman walks around the corner.
God, exactly.
Oh, thank goodness.
Can you get could you get the crowd away from here? This has been a problem. Oh wait, no, Redleaf, you can deal with him.
But what about upstairs? Up the roof?
What?
What are you talking about?
And she's gonna point to the two that just fell down off of the roof. Someone's up there.
Dave basically like shrieks, "There are assassins afoot!" And she is flying as hard as she can, and she is looking across these rooftops. The rooftops are her domain in this city, and she will find this sneaky bugger come hell or high water. And to assist, I want to be let me just double check what my spell is. I want to be using thaumaturgy to turn Dave into a glowing bird that is going to light these rooftops to help reach into those shadows. And yeah, I would like to be looking as hard as Dave can look because she is really pissed off right now.
Okay.
Redleaf wants to try to jump from barrels and kind of parkour up the sides to get onto the roof.
Okay. So Dave.
I have a creative idea actually. Can I cast mirror image on myself so that there are many Daves flying, and there are now glowy Daves flying around? I can only use my eyes. I can't use my mirror image eyes. But there's like a little flying V of Daves making its way through the sky. I have to concentrate really hard.
Yeah, I can see that.
Scorpion with me.
I can see that, and that gives you lots of light to look at things with.
And I will roll to see if I wild magic surge.
You do
I
not.
do not. Not even close.
So, this is going to be a high DC.
Okay.
I'm thinking DC 20 perception check.
Do I still have a nat 20?
You do.
I will burn it. Dave is so annoyed right now. She is having the worst time in this city. She has very little motivation to do anything but find this guy right now. So she is done with assassins being afoot. She's done with wizards and their wardrobes and their shenanigans.
You notice a patch of shadow under the stairs of a building that doesn't quite illumine properly. Like the light moves around it rather than shining through it.
Dun, 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 dun. This flock of angry-looking Genkus lands on the roof and just surrounds this dark patch. And Dave is concentrating on holding her mirror image, but a firebolt cantrip just comes streaking out of one of the mirror images because I can make them look as if they're casting it, and it just
Okay.
straight into that black hole.
Yes, please do carry on. You make make an attack roll.
Boom! That's how upset Dave is right now. Phoenix Bolt comes flying out.
The Thunderbird is serious about this.
Okay.
Good old roll 20 dice roll.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on a 21.
27.
On a 21 damage. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
You injure this person. They cry out. They stand, dropping their illusion. We do not have to fight, you and I.
And all the Daves, like all of their eyes just narrow in. But really, Dave is waiting for little clicky Falja to do the talking because Falja is really good at this bit. And Dave's just going to hold an intimidation attempt, keep this person from running.
Sure.
Let me roll that for you. It's probably not going to be good. Dave is not good at intimidation. 6. Because I'm at disadvantage for everything.
Yeah, that sucks, eh? So on a 6, they're not looking to.
I mean, unless you want to give me advantage because there are like 5 Daves doing this, and she just threw a nat 20 firebolt phoenix at them.
Oh, I don't know.
That would make it a flat roll, which would give me the 22.
No, I think it will be. We'll pass it off as the 6. She's still trying to convince you. Like, no, you're very fierce, but perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
There are 2 sides to every tale.
Indeed. Why do you attack us?
Sometimes you just have to crush things.
Okay.
There are assassins afoot up on the roof.
Oh, I just realized that I was muted the whole time, right?
I thought you weren't saying anything, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was talking. I was like, no one's reacting. Why is no one reacting?
I thought you were doing the whole scorpion thing.
No!
My menacing little scorpion buddy.
I wanted to climb from her shoulders as soon as we had that assassin cornered, but yeah, let's.
Okay, so maybe
I climb down now.
Dave gets to like the up on the roof part, and then that's when Frosh is like,
Mm-hmm.
fire hell.
And I ignite my hands, and my hair is all crackling with flame.
Please.
Why do you try to push us from a roof? And are you an assassin? Why did those people have to die?
That is between me and my contractor. I pushed you off the roof because I assumed you flew up looking for me after you attacked my associate.
We did not attack anyone.
Well, your friend certainly did. A cat familiar jumps on her shoulders.
Who are you?
I
Cat
am
baby.
everyone and no one.
Look at me. Truly look. Do you think that the stupid line will work on me?
And look at me. She reveals her hood. No hair, no eyebrows, a face that's difficult to describe, no teeth behind her gums, which she brandishes at you. I am no one.
Can I do an arcana check or something to find out what kind of creature she is?
Certainly.
Or is it nature? Would it be nature?
Could be nature.
Let's do nature.
Dave replied to
22.
the question of why this person was attacked by Dave, or the many Daves. It says, easier to make amends with apology than to walk with blind ignorance. I have no quotes.
And with a 22 nature, you can tell that she was either originally human or originally half-elf with rounded ears. That's
Okay.
her only distinguishing thing.
Huh.
Dave is gonna double down and say, if you sleep close to the fire and you're not immune, you will get burned.
I do not wish to sit close to the fire. I had a contract. I saw the contract fulfilled. I am trying to return my base of operations so I can be done with my night. A job well done.
A contract fulfilled. I don't know why I did that in Fausta's accent, but carry on.
It's okay. So there is an assassin hold in this city.
No.
You said the base of operation. Is that not like the hold? Don't you have to report to the hold mistress?
No. I just report to a shopkeeper.
A contract fulfilled on Falja.
Yes. On whom? What is the contract all about? What's your name? What's the name of your organization?
We are no one. We are unseen.
I look down at Dave and I say, where are you from? You know what they do with no one? And I let the flame poof a bit higher.
You can do what you wish to me. That is my identity.
I'm not very intimidating, I guess. Every time I try, this never works. How do I even bother?
Shall we cut back to the scene below to see what they're up to with their half?
Yeah.
Because we
So-
might get back up. Who knows?
So the guardsman is strolling forward, and there's not been a crowd assembling or anything, but he's sort of walking, going, Rapture to Zeal. This is a guardsman that you know. He drinks in your pub often. What are you doing, stripping a man naked outside your pub?
I take the mask off. Look, over there. Look closely at the floor. Do you see the bodies?
He walks over and touches it before. Mwah! Oh, crikey. How did
And
this
then
happen?
I remove my mask as well and say, this piece of scum is responsible for the deaths of 4 people.
I'm gonna
Yes, sir.
insight check the guard with
Okay.
advantage.
Sure. Insight check with guard with advantage.
I don't trust. 21.
He seems like a regular guardsman.
Okay. It's like you two deal with this. I'm going up, and she's gonna dash up the building onto the roof.
Now, Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You can't just leave the scene of a crime.
I'm just leaving. I'm like,
Don't worry. They're at Harper.
Oh, right.
Yes, they do that a lot.
I would appreciate if you didn't tell everyone.
They're a guard. It's fine.
I mean, you know, be nice to see some ID or something. That'd be great. Never
I can
mind.
give you any identification papers you want.
What have I
as
told you
stands.
about that? I don't mind you doing it, but don't tell me all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about. As it stands right now, though, we have 4 dead people outside of our pub.
Yes.
There are 2 figures that seem to be responsible for this one. The first was the one that carried it out. The second one threw acid at their compatriot after we immobilized them.
Hence why we removed the afflicted garments.
We are getting involved in things we should not.
I like the sound of that.
Should not. 4 people just died outside of our establishment. I would very much like to be involved.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to promote a good business here, and I don't think quadruple murder does a lot for the ratings.
Yes. Well, look, I know these chaps. I know they're always shaking you down. They weren't good guys, all right? They weren't good guys. We all know it.
What about this woman? She wasn't even with them.
And on top of that as well, they may not be good guys, but that doesn't mean they deserve a dagger through the heart.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Otherwise, I'd be a pincushion.
We are dealing with
Wow.
powers.
All this gold is for me? Thank you, you guys.
Look, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on here.
This is all the signature things of an assassin's hit. Usually...
Congratulations, Captain Obvious. You have just won the award. Tell me the type of assassins, the guild. I want to know what's going on here.
You must
You're
have heard.
beating around the bush.
Yeah, look at his face. No teeth, no nose, no eyes, eyebrows, hair. He's one of the
Right.
unseen.
Well, he's certainly very seen right now.
Well, yes, well done, but they're the most expensive assassins.
And they were brought here for 4 guards. Well, 3 guards and a woman who seem to be a witness more than anything else.
Probably
Especially if
collateral.
we have now insulted their company by outwardly slaying one of their employees. That won't make them look very good.
Oh, now that's it. So we didn't kill them. They're not dead. They're not
No,
dead.
not quite. Well, no, that was the point of moving them from the acid, I suppose.
They're not dead.
But you have somewhat humiliated them.
Right.
Yes.
And usually when you humiliate someone, they come back and try and humiliate you in return. Which I believe for these assassins usually means a dagger.
Now, if I were you, I would throw the bodies in the river. I'd put the assassin in a barn with some fresh clothes and hope this whole thing blows over.
Are you seriously suggesting that we do that right now?
It would save a lot of work and a lot of stress and a lot of attention.
What do you think, sister?
I would quite like to understand why 4 murders occurred just outside of our door.
I would think so as well, especially since there is one person I know that seemed rather annoyed at these 3 guardsmen not 15 minutes ago.
Lie low, please.
I'm sure we will.
I don't want to end up like them.
I'm not going to end up like them. You were never here. I've never met you in my life.
I'm telling you, Rapture, just throw the bodies in the river, get rid of the assassin, kill him if you want, throw him in the river too. Just avoid notice.
And I am telling you, none of us were ever here. You understand my meaning. This conversation never happened. There weren't any bodies, and there were no assassins.
I've just given you a
Can I
fair
get you a
warning.
drink?
Fair warning as a friend. No, I'm on duty. I better continue making my rounds.
All right.
Funny how
Yeah.
the wind blows. I could have sworn I heard someone scream earlier on.
It is very strange. You know, we're all out of your favorite drink. We won't have it in until the end of the week, so I'd recommend you spend a few days away from the bar, just so we don't want to disappoint you with lesser drinks, of course.
All right. You don't need to stretch the idiom. Let's just get out of it.
All right.
Good night.
We'll see to this. The last thing we want is a guard dirtying their hands in this.
He strolls away, trying his best to look casual, but anyone who knows a guardsman's walk can see it's much more rigid than usual.
I'd spin round on the spot to my sister. Sounds like we have a mystery to solve, my sister.
Okay, all right, Rapture. Just stay calm. Don't forget, this could reflect terribly on the inn.
No one saw it. No one is going to see it. We're going to solve this. Because there's one thing that I'm not going to do is throw these bodies in a river and get over it. First, finding a proper burial site for these guards. We're finding out who their families are.
Indeed.
And anonymously telling them, because we don't want to get publicly involved, that their loved ones have passed away.
Indeed. I would also be curious to know if they even are, how this woman is related to these guards, or whether she was just murdered as a witness.
Indeed, and I do think that we need to speak to our dear friend Samael.
Yes, that would seem prudent. What about this fellow?
You know, when we used to serve hog, back before we made it a vegetarian establishment and then decided not to make it a vegetarian establishment anymore?
Yes, that was a terrible idea.
Yes. You know how the hogs used to come tied up?
Yes.
Just like that.
Extra law, the first day you made it a vegetarian establishment is the day you met Samuel.
All right.
The day after is when it wasn't anymore because he tried to sing. Not in my pub.
I agree. Take him in through the back. Cellars?
Yes. And what about the others? They seem to have all jumped off.
Well, they seem to have gone in pursuit of some accomplice or other. It does sound like they have conducted this investigation away from our premises, which is to our advantage. So with any luck, it isn't going to be directly traced to our establishment.
No. And even if they see us, we were masked.
Indeed. Right. Put the mask back on.
For now, though, we need to secure these bodies of these poor souls, this gentleman, and I have a feeling if we wait long enough, the others will come back.
Redleaf always comes back.
Redleaf always comes back, yes.
So let's
every time
pan up to the rooftop where she was saying, look, we can just all go about our business. Trust me, you don't want to get involved.
Am I up here at this point?
Not yet. It'll take you a little moment to climb the ladder. We'll give the girls a second to carry on anything else they wanted to do before you arrive.
Where I come from, do you know what is important?
Living, probably.
Yes, and trade. You say you had a contract? What will you give us for letting you go free?
Where I am from, secrecy is key. Secrecy and skill. If you wish to dance, we can dance, but neither of us will come away unscathed.
Well, I seem to think that we have the greater numbers and the high ground, which is always good.
A contract.
And I have 2 poisoned blades and an oath to hold. I'll go down fighting.
Dave and the other Daves all turn their head backwards and they just yell at the top of their lungs up on the roof as loud as they can in an attempt to summon every Kenku within the block.
She's after all Dave the Divine.
The roof will be safe for assassins.
So as you do this, you can hear around the city up on the roof being
And
taken
it
up
sounds
from,
like a war cry.
more like dogs howling in the night. You know when one dog howls and all the others pick it up. Like
Yep. That's the menacing Kenku dog cry. It's fine.
At Redleaf, now you will arrive, seeing this tense situation.
Hmm.
I don't think you two are with her.
Convince them to give us a contract.
What's going on in here, over here?
We caught
Having
an
a party.
assassin.
So you're not with this one?
Do we look like we are with that one?
No, I don't think so. Hello, darling. And she's gonna stride up with her rapier off to her side, just kind of trailing it on the snow.
This is
Like,
obviously a tense situation, Redleaf. She may strike you.
it's like, no. So-
Dave wouldn't let Redleaf get that close. The Daves are all there, watching the assassin.
Who sent you? Centaurum? The cult? Thay? Xanathar? Did a piss poor job of it. No talking? All right, that's fine. So, listen. This is probably going to be a fight. I don't want you to go anywhere. I know some people that have some questions for you, I'm sure. So you can either drop your daggers now and survive, or we can make this ugly. Ain't that right, Gust?
He holds her daggers forward and plunges them into her stomach.
Very helpful. I say, they were poisoned. That is bad.
Bro,
And try to grab her and heal her. Oh, too late. That
Or
is
at least gonna
extreme, even for assassins.
Smart. She didn't want to get caught, and she certainly didn't want the information to leak out.
She once was a human, or maybe a half-elf with around the ears, I think. Before
Yeah.
whatever happened.
Do I know what this person is? It sounds like a changeling.
not a changeling.
Something.
An assassin.
Do I know anything about the unseen?
Give me a history check.
Okay. 12.
Maybe you might have heard of rumors.
Mm-hmm.
The Masked Lord, maybe. Kid stories, you know.
You two are really good with bringing trouble with y'all, as far as I can tell.
We are not going out and looking for trouble. It always
Right.
seemed to find us. I'm very sorry about what happened to your house. But I mean, there were men falling on your head from the sky. We did not do that.
I don't want your sorry. I don't want it. This is. I'm gonna have to report this back. Best, can you do me a huge favor, darling? Can you go and talk to Stonegrave about this? I need him to get here as soon as he can.
The mirror Daves all jump on the sprite. No.
What do you mean no? It's like, I don't know what your business is, but I have to report this.
No.
I don't care if you say no, and she's gonna snap her hands, and Gus is gonna poof into the astral plane, and then she's gonna click her fingers again, and Gus is gonna be right here.
5 firebolts appear in Dave's collective hands. Because you don't know which one it's going to come from.
Shoot me. Fine. I'll stab back. That's fine.
What did I come back?
Gust, please go.
What is going on? Friend or foe? I say to Dave, concerned looking.
I don't know!
Me neither. What is so bad about the report?
If I was a foe, I would have stabbed you all by now.
You would have tried.
I don't have time for bravado.
I don't have time.
So you do what you want, but I'm going back downstairs.
Do you know what is going on here?
No, I don't, but I have an inkling that something's going on. It's not good.
People like to join in the fun.
Well, you have a good evening. Try to lay low. When people bring out assassins like this, they usually bring scouts with them. We'll probably head back with news. So I would suggest you find a place to stay that's safe. And she's going to walk off of the rooftop.
I paid for lodgings, I think, with the dagger.
Okay. Is Gus gone by now?
If he's allowed to leave without being firebolted to hell and back, yeah.
Dave was mostly threatening because Dave wanted to have time to talk, but Dave can't say that because I don't have the words in this book, and I'm very annoyed right now. But
I'm sorry, Charlie. So yeah, I guess Gust will leave then.
Okay. He's going to go report to my my handler.
Okay.
He knows where he is most of the time. He'll find him.
Okay. Well, he won't be coming back immediately.
That's fine.
So, what do you guys do?
Oh. Red Leaf is going down, is jumping off of the roof, and is going to meet up with Taziel and Rapture.
Well, I doubt Taziel and Rapture stayed still while all this was happening. The guardsmen, you have this body. I guess you started moving them.
Indeed.
Yeah. We'll tie up the assassin. And for now, I think we'll just put the bodies in the fridge.
We have big fridge.
We have a big fridge. Nothing will taste the body either, because we'll just prestidigitate it to taste like something else.
As soon as I'm back in the bar, just going to shout around and say, Tazzy? Rapture?
I have a player question. Rapture, who makes your hygiene certificates?
I do.
It's fine. We have so few staff. Nobody needs to know.
Right.
A question. We are on the roof, and are we on a part of the roof that can't be seen from the
I imagine we're quite away because we had to go and look for that shadow.
Yeah,
They
that
had
is true.
moving before we made it.
Yeah,
stop.
yeah, and it would have taken a while for Red Leaf to get over to you and back again, so...
If I wanted to cremate the body right here and control fire so I don't put anything else on flame, could we do that here without being seen?
I don't see why not, yeah.
Then I would like to go through the pockets of this assassin, see if I can find anything
Take the bag.
worth our while, take the daggers or blades, and loot the body and then cremate it.
The body has 2 poison blades on it.
And nothing else?
A robe.
No money, no nothing?
No identification, no wallet, no cell phone.
Ye olde fantasy.
I have
world.
killed Gruul in the desert. What more on them than these? I say to Dave. And I hand you the blades, and then I cremate the body and control the flame. You know what? I start missing home.
Red Leaf, on your way into the tavern, you stumble. What was one of the things missing from your apartment? You had the locket and something else.
There was a locket, the brooch, and there was a hand mirror.
The hand mirror is on the floor, unbroken and untarnished.
I see this get confused for a moment, and then she's immediately going to try to hide and stealth and try to see if she sees anyone.
Nope. Just a good thing.
So innocent.
She'll smile for a quick second, then put it into her pouch off to the side. It's like, Tazzy? Rapture? Are you alive?
I will probably appear from the cellar, kind of. I'm like, oh, Redleaf, you're back. Did you find anything?
Where's the other one?
Well, your
we got-
drink
we
is
got-
downstairs. Let's go get it, Redleaf.
Of
shall we?
course, I am thirsty. I am
Good. Wonderful.
absolutely
Best stuff
parched. I
downstairs.
heard that you have the best wine now.
Yes,
Oh,
we do.
oh, Redleaf.
Just got it
Brandy
in.
for you, darling.
Excellent.
You hear
House of
knocks
love.
at the door, which become thumps.
At the door to the basement or the door to the front?
Door to the front of the
I'll
tavern.
go get that. You go.
We should probably deal with this.
Yes, you go get the wine. I'll deal with this.
All right. If there's any rowdy guests, be sure to introduce me to them, Rapture.
Of course, I will.
As you get to the door, you can open it, and there is a group of guards out there. Thank you for this tweet, Rebecca. A group of guards stands outside, and they say, "We've heard about the mess in the street.
Oh, really? Have you?
We're
What exactly did you hear?
looking for the most likely suspect, Dave the Divine. We
Dave the
heard
Divine.
that they were in this tavern earlier on.
What does Dave the Divine look like?
A kenku with strange golden feathers.
Strange golden feathers. You know, I don't think I have seen that. There are a lot of patrons in here tonight, of course, and everyone is in costume and masked, so it's a bit hard
Well,
to see people.
Look, we've had several reports of her and her flaming accomplice, and by that I mean a literal flaming accomplice, not a cussive flaming accomplice. I mean an accomplice what is on fire. Have been seen around the scene of many wild magic surges, and we also believe some dead bodies, although they have seemed to have gone missing. You wouldn't know anything about that now, would you?
Of course not, no. As you know, the Fey Patron is a fine establishment frequented by many of your guard. We, of course, uphold every law and rule of the city and make sure that we are open and ready for all. But we will not harbor criminals, and I do assure you that no one by the name of Dave has been in here today. Not that we give out names today, of course. But
Yes,
tonight
yes,
is the
of
grand
course.
masquerade.
Of course, of course. Be safe now, won't you?
Of course, yes. And of course, guard, I will report anything I see to you immediately. Can I take your name?
Yes, Sergeant.
Aha! Ha! I almost caught you out there. Please write it down.
He writes down Sergeant Pepperbox.
Wonderful. And could I have an address of where to find you?
The guardhouse, of course.
Waterdeep is a very big city. Which guardhouse would
All
it be?
right, the closest one, smart ass.
Well, I do pride myself in the ability to be incredibly smart in every situation.
All right, and they will walk away. You guys can go back to whatever you're doing, but we're not going to see it this week. Dave and Falja, as you are making your way wherever you're going from the roof, wherever you are, you happen to be in range of the conversation of a group of guardsmen. Say, well, seems the tip-off wasn't accurate. They're not there, not at the pub like they said. And that's where we'll wrap for today's session.
Hey.
I was gonna say, Rapture, you a tiefling or a troll?
Troll in the cellar.
Troll in the dungeon.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a simple actor and pub owner and magician. I wear many hats.
So,
Many hats.
guys, how are we feeling? Are we all okay?
Yeah.
Falger, are you still waiting for your R&R?
Or not?
Rest and relaxation?
I'm not going to get that, am I?
I tried.
Oh my god, do we try? We try all the time.
Are you really trying to make Dave the Divine a criminal now?
I tried to help you make a tree friend.
That wasn't, to be fair, that wasn't me. That was Tweeter of Vecna.
Justin, I see you. If you end up on my table, I will take it.
I think I should give a little shout out as well to Tweeter of Vecna. Thank you so much for your support
Yes.
tonight. I'm not sure how many donations that is, but it's a tremendous amount of support. So thank you very much for your donations.
And on that note, you should really go and check out part of Vecna's work, which is the Dark Matter expansion for 5e. It's a sci-fi PDF module which contains a whole set of races and small conversions that mean you can run sci-fi in 5e, and it's awesome. They successfully hit their Kickstarter goal, and they're in the middle of the backer kits and stuff. But check it out because it's awesome. I got to play it. It's really great fun.
It's amazing.
And you know how to play 5e, so you don't have to learn a whole new system. There's just races with abilities. It's awesome.
The Mage-Hand Press guys make some of the best 5e homebrew out there. I've used it a bunch. It's great.
Well, you guys, first of all, Justin, please put some links in the chat, and hey, let's talk after stream.
Yeah, especially their homebrewed hedge wizard. It's always fun. Lots of cantrips with that one.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
But you guys, let's go round the table. We'll go in reverse order to the way we went earlier, so that'll be out and round and up. Let's hear how you guys are doing, what your favourite part of today's session was, and
And Plack also.
Thank you, Charlie. I lost my thread. Who you are, where we can find you online, all those wonderful things, because we really want to know. So we will start with Tahina and Dale.
Hi everyone, I'm Tahina. You can find me on Twitter at Tahina_Andale. You can see me next rolling dice, I think, on Sunday over on Fumbles and Fames Twitch channel as we play Tomb of Annihilation. And we are in Omu, and shit is really hitting. Yeah. And my favorite scene today, I think, was besides the scene with the tree, the entrance show, the illusionary entrance show to the Fae Patron. That was very neatly done. With poor Red Leaf standing there totally desolate, and the greeting goes on and on and on, and is so happy. He's like, that was hilarious.
Fantastic. And yeah, okay. So next we have Charlie.
Sorry, I was getting links. But...
Thank you for posting the links for us.
My favorite part of today was Falja finding the desert snow globe thing. I thought that was really cute, and I like the idea that she is looking for ways to live in this city, even though it's so far from everything she knows. And that she's kind of hustling as best she can, and is making friends with everything, and everything here could be an elemental. And there's something wonderful about the fact that she's so wise and she knows so much, but at the same time she's a total innocent in this world, and she's looking for things that make sense to her. Yes, I am all about the Falja love today, and I loved getting to meet our new Fae Patron owners and seeing their relationship with Red Leaf was really cool. And it's nice to know Red Leaf isn't on their own after the terrible incident of last week.
Oh, what happened? Leads us on beautifully to Chorus RPG. Oh, hi.
Hey guys, I had a blast. I think my favorite part was probably the scene between Rapture and Red Leaf. It was very sweet, and I love I love I l- I love I loved it. As for where you can find me on twitter.com and twitch.tv at /KrosRPG. I am a guy that talks about D a lot. I tend to post homebrew stuff, as well as talk about various new systems that I am trying out. I have my own show on Twitch on Saturdays, which is a one shot series called Firelight, where I take a guest and create and craft a personalized one shot for them. And this week's guest is going to be Susanna Grace. So if you want to come check that out, that's going to be on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check that out.
Awesome. Susanna Grace also on our Friday show at 1 p.m. EST. Thank you very much, Chorus. Next around, we have Talinia or Rachel. Oh, hi.
Hi. So yeah, where do I start? I think again, my favorite part of tonight's session had to be the scene between Redleaf and Rapture, because Rapture's just the most lovely, caring brother anyone could ask for. And it was just a lovely scene, nice to kind of get a bit of a hint at the relationships behind the characters going on at the moment. As for where you can find me, I am at Talonir on Twitter. I do a lot of artwork for D&D. I've started making my way through some of the characters for Wisdom Wardrobes. I also make D&D themed jewelry, and you can see me rolling dice next on Monday at about 2 p.m. EST or 7 p.m. BST, where I am part of a Vampire the Masquerade stream called Blood on Thames. We're also on Twitter, quite easy to find if you go through me. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. It's been amazing.
Thank you for coming along. So last but not least, we have I am Hidama. Stuart, oh hi.
Hi, I'm Stuart. You can catch me on Twitter at I am Hidama, and probably not for much longer though, because I'm actually thinking of just changing that to my name, because no one calls me Hidama anymore. I'm not 12 on anime forums. But my favorite scene tonight was probably the scene with Dave, Samael, and Forgia, with the completely literal Forgia and just completely oblivious to the advances of Samael in many ways. But you can catch me on twitch.tv/Susanna Grace every Monday night, where I am the Dungeon Master of Kurion, an adventurous tale, a long form, your good old D&D campaign that we go from 1 to 20. Our players right now are in the Plane of Air, where they have just been fighting gargoyles, and at the end of the session, they met a sphinx. So catch up on that. It's a bunch of fun, and right now as well, I am looking for players to play in Magnum Opus, which is a sci-fi, stars of outnumber space opera game. So, yeah, and that's about it.
And if the players raising their hands here aren't enough, there's always our Discord channel as well, where we often post up donkeys are aliens, where we often put posts up for players.
Speaking of looking for players, a reminder that there are 3 viewer games on this channel every week with spaces up to 12 people. Apply via Scrap. Usually the Twitter is actually the best place to get a hold of him, but you can tag him on the Discord. He is there quite a lot too. So make sure you do that. And on Mondays, you can see me DMing Call of Cthulhu. Same time as this game, usually. So 1 p.m. Eastern to... Hang on. Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK. I can't remember what time we finished. It's like 3-ish hours. But on a Monday, and then Tuesdays, we're here for Wizards and Wardrobes. We're back next week, and we will be back to the normal time, hopefully next week, of 1 p.m. instead of 2 p.m. Thank you to everyone who retweeted and let people know we were going to be late today.
Yes, sorry about that, everyone. Traffic, the M25 lets up for no man. Yes, so there are my social links. Thank you very much, Charlie, for leading into that. My favourite part of today's show, though I had a lot of fun being Samil, and I loved how much you all instantly hated him, that was great. My favourite part was actually Tazil meeting Falja and Dave. No, not meeting them, but trying to clean up the mess that Rapture had made with them. That was a wonderful little scene. I really enjoyed that. That was a nice little one. Also, guys, we are now full-time. As such, we have a Patreon, we have merch, and we have a competition, which are all great ways to support us. The competition is free to enter. You just need to have a working Twitter account, and possibly you get more entries for having a Twitch, Twitter, YouTube account as well, which most people have anyway. So all you got to do is go and click some buttons. And the other ones are not so free, but they are very, very supportive and very much appreciated. I think that's everything. My favorite bit? Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry?
Don't forget to check out the merch store, and if you have suggestions for wild magic, you can also do that through the Discord too.
Yes.
Discord is the place to be.
Discord is an amazing place. So, with that, I think it's about time. We've mentioned her once, and I know we're all big fans of her. Let's go and raid Susie. But whilst we're thinking, before I even get the cooldown going, what is going to be our raid saying? What are we going to say when we get in there today? Something from the show, preferably.
What about vampires on the roof? Because Susie is all about those vamps.
Vampires on the roof? It's a strong one. It's a strong one. Yeah?
Yeah?
Vampires on the roof. That's what we're doing. We're going in with vampires on the roof. Let's do it. So yeah. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. We now stream Mondays to Thursdays, 1 p.m, 6 p.m, and 10 p.m. EST. We also stream on Fridays, 1 p.m. EST, and every alternating Friday at 8 p.m. EST. That's not this week, that's next week. But you can tune in to the other crew running the same game over on Off the Table, who I haven't shouted out, but I should have done. Yeah, great. Okay, let's go raid. Keep evoking emotions, everyone. We'll see you... well, I'll see you in an hour, but these guys will see you in a week. Bye!